This is Josiah Plays Sunless Skies. This is a brand new game in early access on Steam right now. Very early access. The game is far from complete. This is just a small portion of it. A key for this game has been graciously provided to me by Failbetter Games, the makers of this and Sunless Sea and Fallen London. And I have their permission to stream and upload to YouTube as we check out and get our first impressions of what this game is gonna be like. It's supposed to be similar in many ways to Sunless Sea, which I have a full playthrough of up on my YouTube channel. But this takes place in outer space instead of underneath the earth in water. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started now. Also, by the way, Sato and Nox in chat, let me know as I start into this how the volume is. I didn't really test it. I just lowered it some, but then I didn't really test. You know, if you can't hear the game as we go into it, let me know. I don't know how much music or sound is even going to be in it at this point. I guess we'll find out. A gift for new captains. And if this music is too loud, let me know. It sounds like it. It sounds really loud. Maybe still too loud. Alright, let's try this. Sunless Skies is in a preliminary stage of early access, with many still sounds loud as hell. Hey, what's up, Swim Dog? How you doing? I am gonna play Divinity 2, actually. I'm gonna play it as soon as it comes out. This is sounding crazy loud right now. Alright, let's try this. Many stories and functions are yet to be implemented. As a result, earning money is currently harder than it will be in the finished game. For now, defeat enemies, deliver port reports to New Winchester, and complete stories. Accept a disbursement of fuel and supplies. Here are some additional provisions to get you started. A helping hand. Future builds will add more ways to earn money, including trading opportunities and smuggling. Good luck, Captain. Gain 2 fuel, 3 supplies, and 50 sovereigns. Onwards! The sky. The high wilderness, where stars burn and winds moan, and mists drift in ragged folds. The suns make their homes here. And now, so too do Londoners, building new lives out in the dark. Welcome to Sunless Skies. Welcome to the heavens. Perhaps a tour of your locomotive? Here you may explore your ship and learn how to play Sunless Skies. Oh yeah, I'd like to learn how to play. Visit the bridge, learn about steering and your hull. You share the bridge with your driver and your signaler. Yours is the most comfortable seat, of course. Round, steel-clad, cushioned with shining leather. W key to accelerate, S to decelerate, A and D to steer, Q and E allow you to strafe left and right. No, I'm not on a train. I'm on a spaceship. A space train, maybe? I don't know. Try not to crash. If you do, you'll damage your hull. Too much damage and you'll die. Visit the engine room. Learn about fuel and heat. The engine's thunder. The roaring iron belly of your locomotive. The air is as intolerable as the inside of a kettle. Sweating stokers shovel coal into the engines. The fires are hungry tonight. Brass pipes carry the resulting steam through your vessel, keeping the remorseless cold of the high wilderness at bay. I love the idea of a coal-powered spaceship. Running out of fuel means a quick, cold death. Stock up at ports, but be sure to leave enough space in your hold for supplies and cargo. Pushing your engines and firing your weapons will increase your heat. If it rises too high, you may suffer malfunctions. Allow heat to dissipate to avoid sundry unpleasantness. Visit the galley to learn about supplies and hunger. A hearth in the sky. A notched wooden table is bolted to the floor. Soon the crew will gather around it. The wilderness is without dawns or dusks. Only the rhythms of breakfast, luncheon, and supper make sense of the passing time. Meals are a chance to share warmth and companionship. The cupboards are stacked with tins of pemmican and purple packets of Murgatroyd's fungal crackers. Delicious. As you travel, you consume supplies. If you run out, you will gain hunger and eventually starve. Acquiring even a single crate of supplies will reset your hunger. Buy supplies at port, but leave room in your hold for fuel and cargo. Let's look out the window and learn about terror. Wonder and terror. The windows of your vessel are stained glass, spilling panes of lush color across you. In the high wilderness, the light of the stars is enchanting. Looking too long can stir consuming obsessions or wild fascinations. The colored glass offers some small defense. As you explore, your terror will rise. Each time it fills, your condition will worsen. From wary to nervous to fearful to haunted to raving. The worse it is, the more severe your outbreaks of dread. Returning to a major hub will reset your terror, but not your condition. You may find ways to improve your condition as you play. Check the gun batteries to learn about combat. The clenched fist. The weapons are oiled and well maintained. The high wilderness is home to pirates, cantankerite, and worse. You'll need to be able to defend yourself. The locomotive has 2 weaponry slots. Fire your primary gun with the left shift key, and your secondary gun with the spacebar. Different weapons have different damage, range, rate of fire, and spread. But can I get an aft-facing weapon so I can back that aft up like I did in Sunless Sea? That's the question. You have unlimited ammunition, but firing your weapons increases your heat. Don't let it rise too high. Inspect the crew cabins to learn about crew. We're going to learn about rowing, apparently. Never alone. They are squeezed forward to a cabin in fold-away beds. Engineers and stokers, cooks, signalers, and gunners. The number of crew on board does not affect the speed of your vessel or the rate at which you consume supplies. However, you will sometimes find uses for having more crew. Wait, you don't consume more supplies with more crew? So what would be the disadvantage to having as much crew as possible? Read your captain's log. Learn about calling at ports and playing stories. It is important to keep accurate records, or no one would believe a bloody thing that happens out here. A sky story. When you dock at a port, a list of its areas will appear on the left. Select them to peruse the stories and opportunities available. Stories will present you with choices. Some choices will test your skills of hearts, iron, mirrors, and veils. Some require specific items or events. Some reward, others punish. Play to find out what happens. Look in the mirror. Learn about yourself and the hearts, iron, mirrors, and veils skills. Goodness, how splendid! Was there ever a finer captain to fare the skies? It's time to find out. Select the character screen from the bottom bar to see your profile. Your skills are tested in stories. The higher they are, the more likely you are to succeed. Hearts is the skill of convincing and enduring. Iron is the skill of confronting and overpowering. Mirrors is the skill of investigating and deducing. Veils is the skill of deceiving and evading. I like the sound of hearts and veils. IRL hearts and veils would be my shit. A little bit of iron. No fucking mirrors. I'm the worst at investigating and deducing. Well, let's continue my journey then. Skies await. Onwards! We read this. Welcome to the heavens. Perhaps not. Guess I need to cancel this. What is up, Boss Pie? Alright, there's my chip sitting there. Is anything... one storylet available? Oh, this is the story. Well, how do I finish this? How do I, like, say, okay, I've read all this, I am now complete with it, so that it's no longer available? How do I pause the game, also? Roles. Open Charters tab. Pause as escape. Okay. Oh, bringing up that menu pauses the game. There's my chart. I can't see much right now. Alright, what's this? This is my hold. Hesperidian. A spatchcock reclaimed locomotive. I've got a Cotteril and Hathersage emanation. Wherever there is a judgment. I should probably read this stuff when I'm safely in port. Not when I'm sitting out here and stuff is ticking down. And terror is ticking up. So... there really is a space locomotive. Oh, Boss Pie, thanks for the 100 bits. I really appreciate. Yeah, the sound effects are crazy. Let's bring these down to 10% as well. Okay. Thanks for the 100 bits, boss. I really appreciate it. Even at 10%, these sound effects are kicking my ass. What's going on here? We have a problem. We have a problem because turning down the sound effects is not affecting the... Let's return to title screen. Let's... Now that we've turned the audio down, put it on 5%, 10%. Let's try starting again, and maybe now it will update the additional provisions. Welcome to the heavens. Yeah, okay. Nope. Alright, so early access version of the game has a bit of a sound effects issue. Because that is super loud, and it doesn't seem like there's a way to calm it the fuck down. Like, even if I go to like 1%, just as loud. So what I'm gonna have to do here, is I'm gonna have to use Windows Audio Mixer, Volume Mixer, to bring the whole game down to a reasonable level. Let's see how it is now. Yeah, no, needs more. Needs more. Bring it down to 20%. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Still kind of loud though. Bring it down to 10%. There we go. Where's my heat? What's this? I have 10 crew members. Okay, so I've got to... Once I fire that, it has like a cooldown or something. Press F to send out your scout. Cost supplies. I don't want to spend supplies. Then again, they obviously expect me to do it at this point. And I'm crashing and damaging my hull like a genius. Alright, let's send out my scout. It's like your bat from before. But that actually does cost you supplies. March 5th, 1905. Your bat returns and sulks in its roost. You bribe it with beetles until it admits spotting something of interest. Oh. Alright, so I need to head towards that. Yeah, it was pretty loud, wasn't it? Alright, we're doing okay now. What is that thing? Is it something nice? Or is it something bad? Let's find out. Maybe I can like... Oh, maybe it's just a buoy. The taste of smog, the sound of iron on iron. We are home. Oh, I found a new way to damage my hull. How do I dock? How do I dock? Is there anything in the controls about how to dock? Out, cruise control. Interact with object, R. Dude, I'm doing terribly. What happened to the Earth? The Earth still exists, but we're up in space. I gotta figure out where the dock is. Scamps Narrow, 100 experience gain. Issagar Gardens. Well, this all looks quite interesting. How could this be space? The trees are out in the open. It's sunless sea space. So it's like character progression. Oh. A moment of reflection. Choose a facet. Grow stronger. Origin urchin. You ran with the knotted sock. Once he raced barefoot across the rooftops of old London in the company of other unfettered young scoundrels. I've got 20 in each thing. Okay, cool. They said character creation is coming soon, but for now we don't get to make characters. The company house. Like, if I was a person... Maybe that's where the dock is. Because that's where the question mark thing was. Those are space plants, you know. Perfectly legitimate. No, it's definitely space, Boss Pie. This where I dock? New Winchester, experience game. How do I... But how do I even? Like this. I've docked. Now hopefully while I'm in port, these things won't go down. Coal-powered train flying through space is normal, but trees in space is too much. Maybe all of this is within a giant bubble of some kind. I don't know. Alright, we made it to New Winchester. And... my hull's at 28 out of 30. My crew is 10. Now that we're here and stuff isn't degrading, let's take a look at all the things here on the bar. So first of all, I've got the Pilgrim, a spatchcock reclaimed locomotive. I have nothing in my plating slot, auxiliary slot, bridge slot. But I do have a Cotterell and Hathersage Jerusalem. Bring me my spear, oh clouds unfold, a no-nonsense common or garden armament for the skyfarer on a budget. Damage 10, range 750, heat 8. Then I've got the Cotterell and Hathersage Emanation. Forever there is a judgment. Effectively a locomotive-mounted blunderbuss, the Emanation fires a mauling spread of munitions and is best employed at close range. It has been described as a proper bugger to reload. It does 24 damage, which is a lot more, but its range is a lot smaller and it produces twice as much heat. I have some of these numbers here. Oh, this must show how much cargo I can carry, how much crew I can carry, and how much hull my thing has. This feature will be implemented in a future release. Okay. My hold is at 7 out of 10. Jettison cargo, no, I don't want to do that. I've got supplies, food and equipment. If you run out, hunger will take you. Fuel. No special tooltip. Okay, that's my ship. My possessions are none. I have 50 sovereigns. I am the Shadowed Stranger. I have 20 in each stat, and my peculiarities are Fortunes, the Independents, Fortunes, the Windward Company, Soul Flaw, Fermented. I have a fermented soul. What does that even mean? And a flickering soul as well. Extra words. Independence 25. The Tacites strive to be free of the Empire. Her Majesty longs to tighten the Empire's hold on the wilderness. Soul appears faintly bubbling in its bottle and has a disagreeably pungent odor. Wait, my soul is in a bottle? Disagreeably pungent. Soul light is unpersistent, as seen in failing incandescent lights. Alright, what is all this about my soul? My journal. My ambition is wealth. Accrue a substantial fortune so that you may enjoy your retirement in the manner to which you mean to become accustomed. Raise enough capital that you can purchase a comfortable house in New Winchester and retire from the wonders of the heavens. I have no officers. There's my map again. The New Winchester thing is quite extensive. Here's my options again. Okay, so let's start messing around with things we can do at New Winchester. Let's start by looking at the bazaar. Ooh, I like this. I like this big-sized art they've got for these things now. Actually, overall, the UI and everything seem quite good. A sprawling market under the arches, thronged with bustling crowds and peopled by unscrupulous merchants. This game so far feels like an upgrade from Sunless Sea. Like it feels like a next, like a next game, you know, where they've built on what they did before and learned from it and stuff so far. But we'll see how it actually plays out. I can sell some stuff. Wait, I have all these things in my. How come I didn't see anything about that when I looked at my possessions or in my hold? Oh, I don't have them. That's why the sell buttons are grayed out. How you're flying into islands every 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm not very good at steering. Bronzewood, hollowed from the vast trees of the Reach. Bronzewood is prized for its durability and its gleaming resin. Barrel of unseasoned hours. A barrel, encased in beeswax and stamped with the ministry's mark. Its contents sigh like the tide. A gourd of chorister nectar. For tea drinkers, it's a sweetener. For poets, an inebriant. For singers, it's an enhancement, widening the vocal range by a valuable semitone or two. And a sack of verdant seeds, from which mighty trunks may grow, or any number of other things. The flora of the high wilderness is erratic. So if I had these things, I could sell them for these prices. Now, this is what I can buy here. A crate of nostalgic crockery. Fine London china, porcelain plates bearing the Empress's face, cups and saucers traced with roses. And I assume if I bought these things here, I could sell them somewhere else for more money. But I don't know where I would right now. A caddy of dried tea, as British as crinitine. Crinoline. What is crinoline? Crinoline? I don't know what that is. If I was British, I guess I would know. Or Lord Elgin's marbles. Now, I do know what Elgin's marbles are. I've seen them, in fact. They're in the British Museum. They're actually from the Parthenon in Greece. They're statues that were originally part of the Parthenon and were taken back to Britain back in the age when such things were done. And Greece is still mad about it. They want them back. Pane of stained glass. The light of the high wilderness can enchant and derange. Colored glass helps keep it at bay. Bronze wood. Carefully packed crates of munitions. Sometimes a crewman pretends he's going to drop one. It's still not funny. So this looks like it's all like sellable goods. But of course, until I know what to sell where, it doesn't make any sense to buy anything like this. So that's the bazaar. Let's check out Abraham's Engineering. Locomotive plating, improvements and refurbishments, an estimable choice. I could sell parts from my ship, but I'm not going to, because that would be silly. then I wouldn't have my guns. What, they want to buy a Caminus Yard's Brass Raven. Let the clouds pour down righteousness, a rapid-firing weapon popular with captains who value volume over precision. Be careful not to let it overheat. Once the thing's up to speed, you could fry eggs on it. So this is like a machine gun. It does very small damage, but presumably spits out a shit ton of bullets. Like a Gatling gun or something. Bronzewood shielding. Bronzewood is resilient and readily replaced at ports. What's more, it looks splendid. See it gleam. Gives you plus 10 hull. Expansive wardrobe, wherein one may keep one's stuff. Ooh, gives you extra hold space. That's nice. Cozy cabins. With extra fold-down bunks and some careful shift scheduling, you can squeeze a few more in. It will be snug, but that keeps the cold at bay. Extra quarters for crew. Now, these things are not for sale. These are the things they want to buy. The things that are... Oh, here's the stuff for sale. It's the same stuff. So, I mean, this is all too expensive for me. But the cool thing... The fact that I can buy modifications that give me extra hold, or crew quarters, or hull, is pretty cool. Apparently, they're going to allow more ship modding in this beyond just the equipment slots. So that's good stuff. Or maybe all these things go into the auxiliary slot. I'm not sure how it works. Let's check out the labor exchange. Captains pay a small fee for the Port Authority's services in winnowing out the chaff. Only suitable Skyfarers are allowed to sign on. So I could buy more crew, but I currently have my maximum number of crew. So there's no reason to buy any crew right now. We checked out the bazaar. What about Her Majesty's Emporium? Ministry agents patrol the bridges. Their heavy boots thunder over the market where trade is strictly licensed and monitored. So we've read about munitions and Chorister Necker and Verdant Seeds and Bronzewood. Ministry approved literature. You think it's an old dress, Boss Pie? It's that weird cage thing women used to wear, I think. Historical, stiffened or hooped petticoat worn to make a long skirt out of. Oh. That's right. Okay, that's some weird shit, yeah. It has been thoroughly censored. Nothing here is likely to startle your maiden aunt, or make her cackle. I mean, the rest of this stuff we've seen before. So this again looks like more trade goods that I could buy. Wait a minute. Some of this stuff seems really expensive here compared to the bazaar. The bazaar sells munitions for 20. Bronzewood for 150. Stained glass. I guess the prices are about the same. Engine provisions. Under the jurisdiction of the Assembly, this skyfaring shop provides the absolute bare minimum. This is where I can buy fuel and supplies, and they're not cheap. Supplies especially are really expensive. I've only got 50. I don't know what the amount of these things I should have on me is. You know, like how fast are they going to get used up? Let's hold off for now. Company House. The local headquarters of the Windward Company, London's proxy in the Reach. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the company's favor. Following the uprising, the fortunes of the Windward Company fell in New Winchester. Oh. Okay. Now their modest offices occupy an ex-tinning factory in the murkier recesses of town. It continues to smell, faintly, of beans. Ah yes, bean smell. So I can talk to some people here. Talk to the Prudence Secretary. Can't do this because I need favor with the Windward Company of 2. Can't do this because I need favor with the Windward Company of 10. Can't do this because I need favor with the Windward Company of 25. Alright, let's chat with the prudent secretary. The foyer bristles with stovepipe hats. The prudent secretary pushes between them, narrow and unsmiling, with a blousy shirt and black trousers. Learn how you can be of use to the company. Unlocked when you do not have port report. The secretary's gender is a subject of some debate in the company canteen. The secretary's prudence, however, is not. I would be interested to receive reports on events in other ports. However small, the company has expansive interests. One never knows what might be important. Important? Huh? As you visit ports, you may obtain strategic information. Turn it in at Company House to receive rewards. Guess that's all I can do here for now. Alright. The Windward Company. Now you have a friend in the diamond business. Let's see what's going on with Victory Hall. The Assembly, a coalition of independent-minded settlers colloquially called Tacites, gather and argue here. Deliver port reports here to receive rewards and win the Tacites' favor. Let's go to Victory Hall. This looks like an interesting person. Raised in the wake of the blockade of New Winchester, this magnificence of glass and steel houses the Colonial Assembly. Some serious scars there, or something. I like these large-sized character arts they've got in this, compared to the little tiny pictures that were in Sunless Sea. Here, representatives of the independent ports of the Reach gather and quarrel. Can't do this one because I don't have enough favor, or yeah, I need a lot of favor for any of them. But I can chat with the Indurate veteran. He's taking a moment in the atrium, watching the stars burn coldly in the mists. Let's learn how I can be of use to the Tacites, those colonists seeking independence from London. An opportunity. Her skin is brown and her hair is beginning to gray. She wears a heavy, unbuttoned coat. Metals gleam in the shadows behind its lapels. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite. She is enjoying a quiet cigarillo while her peers argue in the Chamber of Assembly. We talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarillo is just a stub, she says, I'd be grateful to hear reports of your travels. I've a suspicion all manner of what? What is that word supposed to be? What do you guys think that word is supposed to be with 4 things blanked out? Buggeration? I just thought that. Yeah, B-U-G-G. It must be buggeration, yeah. I've a suspicion all manner of buggeration is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I'd like to be expecting it. I may obtain port reports, turn them in at Victory Hall to receive rewards. Okay, cool. Let's go to Wolvesey Station. The clamoring central station of New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. The blanked out thing is very odd. I think it's supposed to be like part of the setting. Like, since this is a pseudo-Victorian setting, everybody's really uptight probably about like certain words that are considered vulgar, like bloody or bugger, and so that's why they're censoring them. I don't think they're censoring them for the benefit of the modern audience. I think they're censoring them as a sort of to keep things in theme for the sort of morality that would be prevailing in this setting. That's what I think. New Winchester. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach. That sounds like a cool place. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Man, that sounds like a cool place. I'd like to visit there. Its factories thunder. Its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and fly away. Flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. Oh, look how many things I can do here. I could retire if I had a grand house, 25,000 sovereigns. Okay. I could buy a grand house if I had some bronze woods, some ministry stamp permits, some unlicensed charts, a captivating treasure. I could have my hull partially repaired. Give me 10 hull repair for 50 sovereigns. But I've got enough hull. And before needing something awaits you. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be a thing. Look for potential recruits. Fully repair your hull for 10 sovereigns. Wait. I don't understand. This partially repairs your hull for 50 sovereigns. This fully repairs your hull for 10 sovereigns. Oh, this cost must scale to how much actual damage you have. I guess. You don't have much repair. Yeah, exactly. Let's look for potential recruits. There's always someone looking to sign on. Someone awaits you is a thing. Look, Knox. You unlock this by not having any someone awaits you. The station is clouded with smog. Soaring bridges are hidden behind a thick blanket of fog. Faces loom out of the gray. Currents, your someone awaits you quality is now 36. New hand. Promising recruits crowd the station looking for work from incoming captains. Nobody here is of interest. Perhaps another time, another face. This will reset your a new face at the station so that when you return in a month, you will not see the same old faces. Incautious driver. The wreckage is still burning just past the station. I'm in need of work, they say, plaintively. This would get you a chief engineer who will increase your iron by 3, your hearts by 1, and your affiliation establishment by 1. Damn good sport, though. They squint at your locomotive. By Jove, I think this could be made to go even faster. I recruited the incautious driver. So now I've got mad crew. Your associates among the authorities, the moneyed, and the aristocracy. That went up. I've got a chief engineer. See if I can talk to him. It says click to interact, but it won't seem to let me. Maybe I have to not be at port or something. So when I click on that, nothing happens. When I click on his face, nothing happens. Or maybe that's simply not implemented yet. Okay. So we grabbed an officer. An opportunity. There's 3 opportunities. Speak with the seasoned captains at the end. Well, let's grab this first opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Excuse me. An opportunity, the fastidious inspector. Excuse me, Captain! A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of her pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's Horological Office, the body responsible for ensuring time is consistent across the Empire. "I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper," she says, slipping the watch away. "I can, of course, pay." I'll offer her passage. Pay sounds promising. A new passenger. Oh, I just gained 50 sovereign. "Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than of diligence. Here, an initial sum to seal our bargain." Port Prosper lies a long way to the northeast of New Winchester. Not that there is such a thing as north out here, or indeed east. Instead, London cartographers picked 4 of the brighter, more reliable stars visible from the Empress's new palace and named them north, east, south, and west. Londoners value familiarity. You are transporting a fastidious inspector to Fort Prosper a long way to the northeast. Does that take up, like, hold space or something? Doesn't look like it. My hold's still 7 out of 10, so apparently, and it's not in my possessions, so apparently it doesn't take up any space. That's handy. I've got multiple other opportunities here as well. Let's check out this transport a settler situation, which I can get because I don't have. Would-be pioneers clamor at the station, eager to make their fortunes among the stars. "My friend has been sending me postcards from Port Avon, and I've never seen anywhere so quaint. You must take me there." She rushes onto your vessel as soon as you finish shaking hands. "Excellent. I'll stay out of your way then. You'll hardly even notice me. Any luck and you'll forget I'm even here." Wants to go to Port Avon and now have a settler. Does that take up space? No? Settler doesn't take up hold space either. How odd. Where they asked to go? You're delivering a settler to Port Avon. But I have no idea where Port Avon is. They can't even give me like a direction or anything. I don't suppose anything is marked on my chart here. Like, whoa, what are these giant different spheres? Also, why can't I zoom out? Maybe zooming is not an option that's yet in the game. There's giant spheres of some kind. I can't even find where I am. This is crazy. Can't even find where I am. Please show me where I am. I'm lost on this crazy map. I don't think there's quite 77 spheres, no. Well, I think I've ruined my map because now when I bring the map up, it just shows this instead of wherever I am. And as I try to scroll around, it won't let me. I think I broke the map. I broke the map. Good job, me. I noticed there's no save game thing. It must just be auto-saving. I don't think this has a merciful mode like in Sunless. At least not yet. So I might like completely lose if I die or whatever. Alright. Let's try one more opportunity. Respond to a distress call. A group of concerned Tacites are looking for a sky-faring captain to assist them in retrieving a missing friend. I got this because it's date 7. And I don't have a retiring filmmaker. Captain! A broad-shouldered Tacity speaks for the group. A friend of ours! There are protests. An acquaintance of ours has sent a message from Hybris. She needs transport back to New Winchester. Would you mind picking her up if you happen to go out that way? She's a filmmaker, goes by Mademoiselle Lumiere. She said she'd never return, so I have to assume she's taken ill. Be good to make sure she gets back safely. We've been asked to bring a filmmaker back to New Winchester from Hybris. Again, they could at least tell me where Hybris is. Alright, so we have 3 quests. Intergalactic filmmaker. Let's speak with the seasoned captains at the engine yards. They're always happy to offer words of advice. Sometimes many, many words. Instructions. Too much hubris to tell you where Hybris is? I see what you did there, Nox. A grizzled captain who lost her left hand to frostbite shares her wisdom. Skies are dangerous. News of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. They'll reward you. And the more you deliver at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities as you go, says the solemn stoker. There are always settlers looking for new homes, passengers who want transport, or rich men in need of bloody work. That's all the advice I can get for now. It doesn't look like I can do a single other thing here at the moment. Oh, other than possibly buying more fuel and supplies, which I don't know how much I'm going to need. I have 3 crates in hold, 61% remaining current crate. 20% in current barrel of fuel. Well, let's not buy any fuel or supplies this time and see what happens. See what happens. I guess I'm done here. Now, the question I have is... I have 2 storylets available. Sky. Alright, we don't care about that one. A coggy conversation. The fastidious inspector has a round face, brown eyes, and short dark hair. She gives the impression of being perpetually busy. Begin with pleasantries. Your locomotive is being buffeted by a boisterous stellar wind. Perhaps you could talk about the weather? I suppose it is rather gusty, she says. My work requires extensive travel. I've grown accustomed to the high wilderness's little tantrums, and your engine weathers them well. Some of the vessels I've been on couldn't even keep the wind on the outside. Let's discuss the Reach. The wide, wild frontier. A sunless domain, but impossibly verdant, with gargantuan vines, cathedral-sized bronzewoods, and livid fungal archipelagos. It has an uncouth splendor, but I miss Albion and the steady light of the clockwork sun. These sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses. But critical. The territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows on them to feed the whole of London, even if some of it is a dubious shape. Okay. What happened to the Reach's sun? And London has a man-made sun. How did Her Majesty defeat the old one? We warred and we won. It's not my area of expertise, I'm afraid. The sun's made the law, they say. Now Her Majesty makes it. As for the Reach's sun, she looks through the window at the lightless stirring mists. I don't know. Do suns grow old? Do they die of natural causes? I think that would probably be better than the alternative, wouldn't it? Albion was originally planned to be Canada's name? Really? Why'd they change it to Canada? Let's ask about the Winchester War. The Reach is torn by discontent between London loyalists and the more independent settlers. An unfortunate business. There are those who feel that London is a long way away, and they do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them tacketies for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here. London, unsurprisingly, disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interests in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. The tacketies call London's loyalists stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. She avoids looking at you. And you, Captain? Where do your sympathies lie? With London, remember your heritage and the queen who led you through the skies. With the tacketies, these are new lands. Why should old rules or old masters hold sway? You feel no loyalty to either side. Perhaps you'd rather be left alone. Perhaps you're undecided. Perhaps you see the conflict as an opportunity. The question is, do I want to be manipulative and say what she wants to hear? Do I want to be honest and say what I actually think? Or do I want to be evasive? I'm going to be evasive. What a remarkable indulgence, she remarks with a raised eyebrow. That says, because the old drunk and bearded fellows who founded the Canadian Confederacy didn't like the name, I suppose. Unfortunate. I can ask her about more stuff. Let's discuss the Reach again. She says that again, but now I can ask about the Hours trade. Heard the Empress awards her favorites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and that you can become rich mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Mining for hours. Wow. Pretty crazy. We're going to talk to her about that in our next episode. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere, because I am not done playing. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to bring this episode to an end. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Skies.